This is a McLean Airsoft review.
Classification: Sniper Rifle. Rate of fire: Bolt action. Velocity: 430 FPS. Magazine capacity: 35 rounds. Unloaded weight: 8 pounds. Inner barrel length: 498 millimeters. Price on TorontoAirsoft.com: $279.
The gun comes in a black and white box with some pretty pictures on it. Inside, the gun is split into its two receivers, so some assembly is required, but it's actually quite easy. Inside you will find a one-page double-sided manual that explains installation, loading the magazine, and adjusting the hop-up. I would suggest keeping this just to help you out. The gun includes one metal 30-round magazine that is spring-loaded. It also includes a swing leg metal bipod with adjustable legs for length. It also includes a metal scope rings, and a small Allen key for adjusting or installing the scope rings. It also includes scope caps, but do be advised that the end one is yellow. You'll find a 100 round speed loader that comes with a special tip for loading these magazines. I have glued it on, which I highly suggest doing since it can fall off very easily. I hate that. You're trying to film a video and you got people ringing your doorbell. Anyway, moving on. You also find a very large stick, which appears to be an enjamming / cleaning rod, but the tips are just, well, blank, so I don't know how you would clean or unjam anything with it, but I guess you could hit people with it. Then you have the lower receiver that has the bipod mount already installed on it, but to take it off or put it on, there's a little button down here and you just press that forward and press it forward and then it'll slide out like that, and then it's a tri-rail. Then you have the upper receiver and bolt system. May I just add that it is made of a very nice high quality metal that has a nice matte finish on it. However, it does come soaked in factory grease, so I would recommend wiping it down and replacing it with your favorite silicone grease. In Canada, we are not required to have orange tips, so there is a black muzzle cap on here. When removed, there is threads inside for mounting an adapter for a suppressor. However, I prefer just the muzzle cap. You will also find a nylon sling that appears to have very sturdy hooks on it. However, I would not suggest using a sling because you never know if it's going to stand up to the heavy rifle, and it just takes one fall to mess something up on your gun. And also, in the sniper role, I don't think you'll actually need a sling because a lot of times you might be having to set down your rifle to have easier access to your pistol, so the sling would just make that even harder. You will find a bag of Allen wrenches. The large Allen wrench is for assembly, the second largest is for hop-up adjustments, and I'm not sure what the smaller one is for, but you have to keep it around for any reason. For assembling the gun, be aware that the Allen screws are already built into the gun and cannot fall out, so don't be thinking that they didn't send you it with any screws because they are already built in. The two receivers slide together like so, but it's much easier to slide this front part down into the mag well and then insert the back part. I just find that that makes it a lot easier. Once you have your two receivers slid together, you can use your large Allen wrench to tighten the screws, but be careful not to over tighten them. Just go until it feels snug. There's one screw behind the mag well and the other is right in the middle of the trigger, or right behind the trigger assembly. As you can see, it goes right down into there. And then tighten it up. Just till it's snug, because you don't want to strip these screws, because it's probably pretty hard to find replacement ones. Installing the bipod is as easy as loosening this knob here on the front and putting it on the rail so that the legs are facing towards the end of the barrel. Once you have your bipod installed, the gun stands up very nice. The bipod isn't extremely tall, which is nice if you're a little bit shorter, especially in the arms, but it can be adjusted to be longer by twisting these knobs here. Be advised that once you do tighten it, these knobs don't actually stay that well in place. If you put a lot of force down on it, it will slide back down to this position, or sometimes the springs will let it creep up a bit. Some people think that the bipod has wobble to it and that's a bad thing. What this actually does is allows you to have tiny adjustments to your sighting when you're shooting to make it a little bit easier, especially if you're on an uneven plane. Installing the scope is as easy as the bipod. Simply loosen the knobs and place it on. For putting the scope in the scope rings, loosen these two Allen screws on each side until this top half comes off. Place the scope in and then place the top half back on. These are high profile scope mounts, which make it better for aiming down the sight while wearing goggles. Make sure when you are installing the scope that you put it on the rail and put it in the scope rings so that it's perfect for your eye to see when you're holding the gun. Because if it's too far away, you won't be able to see good, and if it's too close, it'll be blurry. There's an adjustable cheek riser to make it more comfortable when holding or looking down the sight. And there's also an adjustable butt pad to make it perfect for your length of arm. The magazine can be loaded by filling the speed loader and putting the attachment on, and then holding this down on your magazine. There's a little lock here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't work, you just have to hold it down like this and then put the speed loader on an angle like this, and then just pump all your rounds in and you're ready to go. Once your magazine is loaded, you can slide it into the chamber and make sure you hear it click, because if you don't click, it won't feed properly. One of the nicest features of these spring L96 series is the spring-loaded magazine, so that when you hit the magazine release, this big spring slides it out really fast, so it doesn't have to be pulled out with fingers, which is hard to do when wearing gloves. The hop-up is adjustable by the small Allen screw located in front of the magazine using your second largest Allen key. You rotate it from this position with the bolt facing me right now upside down, to the right to add hop and to the left to reduce. The safety is located right behind the bolt assembly. If you see the red dot, that means it's able to fire, and that is safe. Even once it is on fire, if the bolt is lifted up, you cannot pull the trigger, and inside the trigger there is a smaller safety trigger, which means unless that is pulled down, even on fire, you cannot pull the trigger. One solid pull of both triggers at the same time will allow you to fire the gun. Insert a loaded magazine, cock the bolt, and you're ready to fire. The outer barrel, upper receiver, top rail, scope, bipod, and sling mounts are all made of metal, and a very nice metal that I might add. The butt pad is made of rubber and is adjustable to take out these plates to make it shorter. The cheek pad is a cheaper plastic, which I don't like very much. There is a tiny bit of overspray paint job from them painting the black onto the green, which is not very ideal. However, the lower receiver is made of a very nice heavy grade ABS plastic, but does have some sharp seam lines that could be sanded down to make the gun more comfortable. However, this gun is very good quality.
This gun shoots very well out of the box. However, to build a stronger sniper platform, I do recommend the available sniper upgrade kit from TorontoAirsoft.com for only $39. But to support this new upgrade kit, you also need to buy a metal trigger box to support the heavier spring. Heavier BBs such as a .30 or .36 are also recommended for longer distance and better accuracy. Overall, this is a very great purchase for your first time sniper or the sniper you're going to have forever. Please remember to comment if you have any questions, like this video, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thanks, guys.